Good afternoon, all. Welcome back to Daz TV. Just going to do a snippet of yesterday's game, a little review. Big win for Liverpool in the end. Frustrating it was for a lot of the game, particularly for Moores. A lot of huff, no puff. And it was just, look, 1-0 in the end. It's two Premier League games in a week, both 1-0. But we were a bit more convincing yesterday than we were last week against Wolves. We didn't have to leave it to Lord Divock to score. We literally the last kick of the game. But yesterday was a deserved win. Big 3 points. Gerrard rocked back to Anfield. A lot of emotion, sentiment around the game. I said in the preview show, I just want to wipe the floor with Villa. We just want to get this win. And then sing the praises and give the admiration to Gerrard that he deserves as a former player. And obviously he's doing really well as a manager as well. And it didn't quite work out that way. I think we get the goal in 67 minutes to penalty. We should have had a penalty already before that as well. I think Villa were very lucky to have 11 men at half time. Refereeing yesterday was really, really poor. I mean, we've elite level here in this Premier League, and the refereeing, I think, has been shambolic for a long time. And I think yesterday really epitomised how bad the refereeing is. I think, look, yesterday we got the win, deservedly so. I know Gerrard talks about, there's 2 penalty incidents and we got one and they didn't, but it was never a penalty on Danny Ings. When you watch it close, I watched it yesterday on Premier Sport and then watched the highlights of Match of the Day last night, and Alisson clearly wins the ball, and they identified that on the analysis of Match of the Day. And it was clear for me to see even at the time that he didn't. At the time was a little bit, he's gone down there, Inks, but there was no doubt about it. I mean, Villa didn't have any threat at all really to us until after we got the goal. They had a little bit of, they start creating something, but I mean, we'd 5 shots on target, they'd none. I think we'd 20 shots altogether on goal and they'd 4 or 5 half chances. So they were a bit time wasting even in the first half, Martinez and that, and then as soon as their goal went in, I was like, well, try and time waste now. But a deserved win, a big win, because Villa have done really well. Gerrard's won 3 out of 4 games, and the one game they lost was against Man City. No shame in losing that. I mean, even the best of teams in Europe will lose to City on the day. There's no shame in it. But it was good to get the win against them yesterday. Good again to keep the clean sheet. I mean, that's only 1 goal now we've conceded in the last 5 Premier League games. We are the informed team. We are the team to beat, and we're high flying at the moment. And it's great to see this Liverpool team. It was a bit like 2 seasons ago when we went to win the league with different ways of winning games. I think yesterday defensively we were really good. I think Joel Matip was awesome yesterday. Won every aerial duel. Very clever play, really outstanding performance, never put a foot wrong. Very composed, a centre-back, very commanding yesterday along with Van Dijk. I think Trent, Robbo were also excellent. When Alisson was called upon, 1 or 2 little moments that was a bit frustrating, but overall he done well and obviously kept the clean sheet. But for me, my man the match yesterday was Fabinho. Very, very clever yesterday, Fabinho. I thought he was awesome, intercepted as many as he had to. Very tidy yesterday in midfield, really cleaned up and swept up everything. I call him the general in our midfield, and I think that yesterday epitomised Fabinho. I thought fabulous Fabinho was fabulous yesterday. Man the match for me. And Henderson, I think, was really good in there, and Thiago as well. Thiago I don't think was as good as Fabinho and Henderson, but like that yesterday, he done what he had to do. Oxlade-Chamberlain was great to see getting minutes yesterday. I spoke about it in the preview, that I wouldn't be surprised to see Ox start. He started in a more advanced role yesterday. And I think he worked really hard. His ball retention off the ball, very, very hard. He walked off the ball, tackling, coming back. Didn't really get rewarded for what he done off the ball yesterday. He had a good chance where he has a shot, and I think it just goes over Martinez. I don't think Martinez got a touch to it. It just goes over the bar. But he was very dynamic yesterday, and it wasn't his best performance yesterday. He would have been a little bit frustrated, but overall, it's great to see Ox getting more time, start again, because I think he's been our most informed player and deserved to start yesterday. And he done okay, but Salah taken down, it was a clear penalty for Mings. It was very untidy, and it was a bit stupid really from Tyrone Mings. If you're going to go in on that, and Salah, he's going to go down, he's going to get the penalty, and yesterday was a clear foul. Even if to think about it, straight pointed this was scored. I think the consecutive penalties now, so he's done really well. But look, yesterday, big win for us. It's a big week ahead for us. Home to Newcastle now Thursday night, away to Spurs next Sunday. Again, going to be a tough game. And it's a big week just before Christmas. Then obviously it's the game against Leicester in the quarterfinals before we play Leeds at Anfield. The day after Christmas on Stevens Day. Big shout out Paul Owens, Evening Darden, best league in the world, worst refs in the world. A shambles yesterday, delighted with the 3 points. You'll never walk alone. Cheers to you, bro. Yeah, it was. It's elite level, this league. Refereeing was poor, as I said. At half time, Villa were lucky yesterday to have 11 men. But it's been going on a long time between VAR and between referees. And look, it hasn't just fucked us over before, you know. It's going to cost a real big game and a real big moment at some point, and it's going to be very, very controversial, and there's going to be uproar over it. We're waiting to see that happen, but the refereeing for the best league that we have in world football is really poor. And cheers for the comment, big shout out Paul Owens. Ali A, big up Daz. Yesterday was big win. It was, bro. It was. Big shout out to you, Ali A. It was again another big win for us in the Premier League. As I said, we've only conceded 1 goal in the last 5 Premier League goals since the international break. We returned back from it. We've been on fire, starting with that 4-0 win and a very convincing performance against Arsenal. You know, we've just been very relentless since, haven't we? We've been ruthless in a lot of games and very resilient. And I think yesterday again was very, very resilient performance because, you know, we didn't let Villa frustrate us. The fans kept up, the players kept up a good performance, and we deserved the 3 points yesterday. Ali A, do you think Gerrard is the next Liverpool manager with Klopp? Because Klopp was saying this in his press conference. Yeah, I think Klopp was saying, look, he's happy for now. Obviously, he's looking forward to the future at Liverpool, but one day he will leave. And look, Klopp doesn't know what's going to happen. I don't know about Gerrard coming in the future. I know Klopp will be there till 2024 at least. It could even be beyond that. We don't know. But as we speak now, I don't know. I mean, Gerrard will have to prove himself in the Premier League. If he can't do it at Villa, he's not going to be able to do it at Liverpool. But so far, so good. His managerial record so far has been brilliant. You know, starts off at Rangers and has done great in his 3, I think, seasons there. He's worked wonders there. And he's so far doing well at Villa. So let's see what happens. But if he does well at Villa, if he wins stuff at Villa, does what he has to do there, then he'll definitely in with a big shout. I'm not always into, you know, former players coming back and becoming managers. But if Gerrard can cut it and he's the man available and Klopp does leave, then absolutely I'd have no problem with it. But we'll wait and see what happens then. Klopp could stay beyond 2024, and if you're talking to me now, I'd say, yeah, I'd love that to happen. That'd be great because Klopp is really the god, isn't he, at Liverpool? Won a European Cup, Premier League, our first elusive title after 30 years. So I would love to see him stay for as long as possible. But Gerrard yesterday was the master against the apprentice. The master got one over him. But, you know, Gerrard would have been happy enough to only conceded 1 yesterday and to have given a good game to Liverpool, because I thought Villa were decent enough yesterday. Man, the match yesterday for me was Matip. Like I said, yeah, Matip was really good. I've said Fabinho, but Matip it's probably a toss of a coin, to be honest, Ali. I think Matip yesterday won every aerial duel, very commanding, very professional performance, swept everything up. And just calm, you know, we talk about calm as you like Virgil van Dijk, but Matip was equally as good yesterday. And I thought defensively yesterday we were really good. Afternoon, big up Diego C. Palace. Up the Palace, they're playing now, Stranny score and that. Now it's only kicking off, isn't it? So I just seen Leicester beating Newcastle, and we play Newcastle on Thursday. I mean, that to me is already looking like a certain 3 points. I know you can never be certain in football, but I'd be very surprised if we don't beat Newcastle on Thursday night. To me, it looks like it could even be a spanking. But the most important thing is about Thursday night is get another win. Obviously, it'd be great if it was convincing. Obviously, it'd be great if it was another clean sheet. I mean, to play 6 Premier League games and only concede 1 would be unbelievable for us, because a couple of weeks ago we were conceding far too many goals. But the good thing is we were outscoring teams. We were scoring a lot as well. But it's worrying when you concede goals. But of late, we've been very, very compact and composed at the back. And hopefully that continues, because I think Spurs next Sunday will be really, really tough there now with Conte there. You know, they're looking like a better team. But at this moment in time, Liverpool, the most informed team, you'd expect us to win. But big shout out Diego C. Palace, and best of luck to Palace today. Vieira is doing well at the moment there, and I wish us the best of luck for the season, pal. Ali A throws another one. Matip or Agger, who would you take? Good one. Agger probably a little bit better, obviously, at getting goals with his foot on set pieces, but Matip's got a few headers as well. I would take Matip just because he's won more and he's been very composed for us. Agger also the fair share of injuries, not as many as Matip, but if you're talking about a fit Matip and a fit Agger, it's a good one. Agger was probably a bit more aggressive, but Matip's a bit more cooler. I'd go at Matip just because of what he's achieved and how important he is to probably the best and most successful Liverpool side that I've seen playing in my lifetime. So I'd tip Matip, but Agger was a really great shout out, wasn't it? I seen it was just Agger's birthday there recently. The club had it up on social media. But yesterday was a big win, big 3 points. Chelsea very lucky yesterday. City, you could say as well, were lucky. Looking back on those highlights, so it would have been great to see one of those drop points yesterday. But we've done our business. 2 big games coming up now before Christmas. Let's hope it's going to be 6 big points, 6 out of 6 points, and 2 big wins out of 2. Ali A throws a comment. I love when Matip goes through the middle, going on an adventure like Virgil. Yes, says absolutely he does, and he done that yesterday, didn't he? Towards the end. Overall, great performance. Ali, I have me more now thinking I should have given man the match to Matip because all the talk is about Matip, but I'll still stick with Fabinho because of how good he was in midfield. But Matip's a great shout out. I hope you all have a good evening. Hope you all have a great weekend. I'll be back on before Thursday. I was supposed to do a quiz night tonight, but that's not going to happen. But I will have the lads on for quiz night. We're going to arrange tomorrow, one of the days for during the week, and it'll be a sports quiz, a little bit different to just the football or the Liverpool one. So that should be interesting. And Paul Owens there's throwing a comment. Big shout out, Paul. Matip and Virgil and our midfield trio, excellent yesterday. So solid they were. The midfield was brilliant. Fabinho, particularly in that anchor role, that defensive midfield role. I think he's the best in the world. He's the general in midfield. I thought yesterday he was unbelievable. Virgil, Matip, a centre back, very, very commanding, very professional, very composed and compact too. And so was Trent and Robbo. They were great at going forward and very dominant yesterday. But hope you all enjoy the rest of the weekend. Thanks to everybody for leaving in the comments. Take care. Enjoy the rest of the football for today. And see you all soon for a preview of Liverpool and Newcastle.